Well, I first found out about Heros probably back in 2014 when I attended several open fora and was able to have a chat with Tim Oldham, who told me more about the aims and objectives of Heros, particularly with regard to empowering service users in Croydon and finally giving them a voice after many years of the mental health services talking down to us. I realised that Heros had a great future and I wanted to be a part of it, if only to assist other service users struggling with their care and treatment and let them know that they're not alone with what they're going through. I'm now currently a trustee of Heros and assist with administering the accounts for the organisation. Link working is extremely therapeutic for me. I've always found that by using all my energies to help other service users when I engage with them, I worry less about my own difficulties, and since being involved with Heros, I have remained well and have not had any further hospital readmissions for quite a long time now. I would say that Heros, I'm sure, is benefiting service users, and indeed South London and Maudsley NHS Trust by reducing in the way the number of people need to go back to the hospital. I think the main thing that we are able to offer as link workers to service users is a listening ear on the wards that perhaps service users would not usually get because nurses on the wards are so busy with paperwork and other admin that they are unfortunately unable to devote as much time as they'd like to the patients. We can also signpost service users to local services that they might not otherwise know about and give them the telephone numbers and websites of these services so that they can get the help they need. I think if I wasn't link working, I'd probably be more isolated than I am now. The useful training that I've received as a link worker has meant that I now know where to go for particular advice on anything worrying me, and has given me insight into other organisations that can also help me if I'm in crisis. I know that by continuing my involvement with Heros, I will stay well, and this will have a significantly reduced chance of me going back into hospital, because I might not have known originally who to contact for help when I really needed it. Yep.
Awesome. Just a second, can you just say your name and what you do at Heros and who you are, basically?
Yes, my name is Jonathan Weller. I am a link worker for Heros, and I'm also a trustee, and I help Tim Oldham with the accounts.
Let me ask you about being a trustee then, and how long have you been a trustee?
Well, I've been trustee now, I think it's about 3 years, and since that time I started as, like everybody does, sort of attending lots of meetings and few Away days, that's right. Yes, that's it. Away days. So I've attended, I think, one or two of those, and then Tim said to me, "Well, we need a treasurer. So would you be willing to help us?" And I said, "Well, I have to be honest. I haven't got much financial background knowledge, but I'm willing to give it a go. So I've been helping him every so often with maintaining the accounts, and I think I'm going to have a hopefully more hands-on approach in the future as we come out of lockdown, basically."
And since we are still looking for more trustees and people watching, why do you think it's important to be a trustee for a charity like yours?
I think we need to grow and develop Heros. I mean, it's a very good charity, and I think the more trustees we have on board, especially working in the various parts of the remits that we do, whether it's reach out or link working or even the mentoring, which I know Tim's looking to do into the future. I think we need the people with the background knowledge, and also I think it just keeps things running. It's what to, there's a lot of work in the background, and that's really why we definitely need more trustees, I'd say. Yeah.
Right. So let me ask you then about link working. Can you just explain what link working is first?
Well, link working is another term for, I suppose, sort of peer support. what we do is we either go into the resource centres or onto the psychiatric wards in Croydon, which for Croydon is Bethlehem Hospital, and we basically talk to patients, and we're there to sort of listen to their concerns. If they just want to fire off at us about stuff, that's all good, because we can be there. We're like a sort of, I see us as a sort of conduit between the service user and the nurses, and also if they need help from some outside organisation, they need advocacy, for example, we can signpost them to that, give them telephone numbers, websites. So I see this as very practical, and I know from what I've heard from South London and Maudsley, we are highly valued in the Croydon area. Yeah.
And what do you think service users gain from having someone with lived experience of mental health?
Well, I think it's probably a reassurance that everybody, we've all been there. When you've got an illness, we all think we're on our own. That nobody else has ever had anything like we've had, and of course every illness is different. But I think it's a sort of the collectivity of link working and assuring the service user that though we're not entirely in the same boat, we can empathise with each other and be a listening ear and a practical support. We can, as I say, signpost and refer them and such like. Yes.
And do you have any particular, I want to say case is probably the wrong way of putting it, but any particular experience during the link working that has kept with you, something that you're particularly proud of or something like that?
Well, I suppose one thing I was proud of was, and it made us both feel good, was when I was working in conjunction with a fellow link worker, my fellow link worker, Calvert. We were on the ward, and we got this lovely letter from one of our service users on the ward who couldn't thank us enough for all the help we were offering him. And that meant the world to us. It was shortly after I'd started the link work, and I know Calvert had only been in the job about a year or 2 years or so. And we got this lovely letter from a particular service user on the wards, and he just wrote such a lovely letter to say he's very grateful for all the help we're offering him, and just for being there to listen to him. He said he didn't find because nurses were so busy, that he could speak to people in the way he could speak to us. So that was a very defining moment for myself.
So to wrap up, what is your kind of hopes for yourself or for Hear Us going into the next 5 years? Yeah, well, my hopes, I think, maybe like a lot of people, that we can expand. Hopefully, I mean, I'm not sort of. Not talking about perhaps global domination at the moment, but expanding into other areas of London, and maybe I think we've got a very good model in Croydon, and I think it'll be used in certainly in every London borough, obviously north of the Thames as well as south of the Thames. I'm not aware any other borough in London having quite what we've got. I think they've got similar things where they perhaps hand out leaflets and things, but the practical talking we do and the stuff we do, I think that would be such a useful model in the future of mental health care in London as well as Croydon, of course. So yes, that would be my hope for the future.